Hey guys, here to review Desecavity's latest, Implict Obedience. I apologize if I said the band's name wrong, but here is the album artwork. Pretty sick and disgusting, if I may say so myself. Pretty neat. Alright, so right off the bat, Desecravity is a 4-piece brutal death metal band from Tokyo, Japan. And the best way to describe their sound is basically technical death metal mixed with brutal death metal, or vice versa, whatever you want to say. I say it has more brutal death metal influences, but the guitar riffing and instrumentals as a whole does have a lot of basically technical riffs going on and technical instrument playing. So yeah. Alright, well, I'm going to get right into the review. Let's just jump into this. Vocals. Vocals on this album were okay. In all honesty, I like the vocals on this album. There were some catchy parts to them, but in a lot of areas, it was kind of to the point where the vocals were repetitive and they didn't really need to be there. In all honesty, I think I could listen to this album without the vocals on it whatsoever, which is very rare for me to say. Normally, I need vocals in a song. I don't know why. Maybe it's because I'm a vocalist and I just enjoy hearing others work. But with this album, I could do with the vocals or I could do without them. It doesn't really bother me. The vocals on this album are just your average low growl, and occasionally they're mixed over layered with a high scream, so it's got the high scream and the low scream at the same point. But other than that, you know, there are some catchy parts in the songs, and then there's some catchy parts where they're, you know, pretty good and it's awesome. But then at another point, it's like, wow, you're still doing the same vocal. I mean, nothing wrong with the vocalist here. I'm not putting anything down on him. He's also a guitar player in the band, and that puts a lot of pressure on him. But, you know, for me personally, the vocals were not that great. I apologize if that offends anybody. My opinion, not yours. Alright, guitar riffing on this album. Guitar riffing on this album, pretty damn good. I mean, the guitar riffing, I would have to say, out of the instrumentals, the vocals, the drums, the bass, and everything on this album, pretty much, you know, it pretty much blew me away. This is what made the album for me, was the guitar riffing. Now, the guitar riffing ranges from, as I said in the beginning, brutal death metal riffs to technical death metal riffs, but really stays towards the technical death metal side of riff things, where they're like, I bet you can't play this. There's also some stuff that we've heard in there before. It's not anything brand new at some points. There are some original riffs in here that are pretty unique, and I'm like, wow, that's pretty good. But in a lot of the album, it's kind of old stuff mixed together with older stuff that we've heard before. So if you're into technical death metal and you've been listening to it since you started listening to death metal, you're going to pick up this album and you're going to notice a lot of guitar riffs being the same. Nothing wrong with that. I think you'll enjoy it as much as I do because it's played to the point where it's just crisp and new, even though it's an old style of playing. Right, bass. Bass on this album, it's hearable. At some point you can hear the bass go do-do-do-do-dunk, but as with most death metal bands, the bass is not really audible if you were listening through a speaker per se. For me, I really had to put headphones on to hear them. So, I mean, bass, you know, it plays good from what I can hear from it, but on the other side of things, I wish the bass was a little bit more out there, because points where the bass is out there and it's out for you to hear, it sounds amazing and it's catchy and it's something you want to hear from bass. And bass is one of them overlooked instruments, just like drums, that, you know, people overlook it, and bass really needs to be put out there more. And I really like to hear bass on the next album, or just, you know, buffer this up a bit. Right. Drums. Drums on this album pretty much range from brutality, fast, in your face, blasting drum beats just right in your face throughout the whole album, to at one point where they're at melodic. You know, like, it's just really catchy drum playing. But in all honesty, the drummer here just really sticks to balls to the walls, straight in your face, drumming, fast paced as he can go. And it's pretty damn fast, it's pretty damn brutal, and it sounds pretty awesome. You know, I can't complain. It sounds brutal, sounds awesome. Love the drumming on this album. Not as much as the guitar work, as I said before, but the drums are pretty interesting. They keep you going, they keep you wanting to listen to the drums more. And the instrumentals as a whole, you know, with the vocals mixed in there and the instrumentals mixed in there as a whole, this is a pretty good brutal death metal album with technical death metal in it. More honestly, a lot of people say this is brutal death metal. I think this has a lot more technical death metal influences in it. And I never really listened to technical death metal too much. I'm more of a brutal death metal and slam death metal guy. Just technical death metal has never really been my thing until recently, until a few of my friends showed me bands. I was like, alright, I'll try it out. And I decided to pick this album at the beginning of the year in January. I'd never gotten around to reviewing it. It's actually been sitting in my CD pile for the whole year now. I just found it again when I was cleaning out my CDs, and I was like, oh, I have to listen to this. And you know, excuse me, I'm a little bit sinuses, but for anybody who wants to start listening to technical death metal or wants to start getting into it, I definitely recommend this band. This is Desecravity, the album. This was released off Willow Tip Records this year in the beginning of January, but I picked this up on Severed Records. But as I said, I'm sure there's a whole bunch of distros that have this album, or you can just look it up on YouTube and get a clip of the song. I mean, if you really want to get into technical death metal and you want to listen to something brutal and heavy and just amazing, then you really want to get this. You know, as I said, the vocals just aren't for me on this album. You know, that everybody has their own opinion. I've had my friends tell me, dude, his vocals are so catchy. You know, I really like them. It's hard to find a vocalist in technical death metal that is catchy. And I'm like, yeah, but it's the same thing over and over. It's not really nothing new to me. And considering I'm a vocalist myself, you know, it's something that just, I don't know, it's something about vocalists. That's pretty much it. Alright, so yeah, pick this up, Desecravity Implict Obedience. Pretty good technical death metal album. Like I said, only complaints are the vocals, instrumentals as a whole. Pretty damn fucking beastie and brutality, you know? So yeah, pick this up, here you are. Now, as for everybody saying, Clayton, are you stopping reviewing? No, I'm not stopping reviewing. I'm going through basically money troubles right now. I know I told you guys that for the beginning of the year. And telling you guys this now again. You know, it takes a while for me to get out of money troubles. I am a 17-year-old kid in high school. You know, I work, and then I come home, I go to school, I come home, I go to, you know, I write out college resumes and stuff. You know, I got stuff to do. It's not that I'm trying to avoid you guys. It's just, I don't have the money to be supporting my music habits right now. So I'm trying to stay away from that. But my birthday just came up and I just turned 18, so I'm no longer 17. But, so now I got some birthday money that I'm going to be wasting on some albums. You guys will see some album reviews. I'm not stopping album reviewing ever. It's just, I don't have the money. You know what I mean? It's nothing against you guys. I like reviewing and talking about my opinions, and I'm glad you guys listen to them. So, I'll see you guys later. Fire truck. No ambulance. Okay, I was wrong. Alright, anyways, hope you guys have a good day, and thank you for watching. Bye.